been hurt, but despite of your past, despite of my past, everybody make mistakes, we both learn.
It's been a one for the last 2 days. It's been a one.
Case the producer.
Drop that. Times hit hard, but we still breathing. We go like this. Times hit hard, but we still grooving. Been a little nigga doing big moves. Took a little loss, filled big shoes. Money moving, I'ma need a big room. I'ma need a plug on a big gun. Heard around the city, I'm a big dude. Niggas headed on and trying to get cool. Hearing that I got things coming in soon. I've been going, it makes sense. I consider that the money I touch. Niggas interfering in this up. I ain't know about a bitch, but I know it's in the money I trust. Trying to see a way to get a buck. Might have had to get it slow. Might have had to find a way to speed it up. Might have been a day when it was tough. Might have did a lot of bad, but he saw fit to wake a nigga up. Shit was hard, but we still breathe. Yeah. Let it go. Times hit hard, but we still breathe. Tracking. Money in the city, it's a big map. Money on the phone, you should get that. I know some real niggas that'll feel that. Know all the niggas that'll kick back. Let them other niggas do the shit that. Might have had them in the room giving big facts. I've been going for a minute if the business makes sense. I consider that the business I touch. Niggas interfering in this up. I ain't know about a bitch, but I know it's in the money I trust. Trying to see the way to get a buck. Might have had to get it slow. Might have had to find a way to speed it up. Might have seen the day when it was tough. Might have did a lot of bad, but he saw fit to wake a nigga up. Shit was hard, but he still breathing. Yeah. And let that rock. Yeah. Times hit hard, but we still breathing. Yeah. Times hit hard, but we still
the Wizards game yet, y'all, but I will watch the Wizards here soon. I'll probably check out the game. Shout out to homie. Shout out to you for shouting me out on your channel. Highlight my chats that I'll be putting into your channel, man. So watch you get an idea of what the game was like, what it was looking like. I already listened to Mr. Nostrils. He was just on Quincy channel. Shout out to him. Funny, he do not record his videos like that no more since my comments. Mr. Nostrils, he literally was recording the videos like this, and now he done got it together, man. Shout out to you, man. But watch the game change.
Watch the game change. Gamble will bet on me. Tell them that's like it, still love it. I'm taking a shot for my enemies. I can't waste no more time on my energy. I know they know I got it all like go against me. That's a long shot. Cause I'm trying to wins all around the clock. Never doubt me, boy, I don't stop. Who even feel when they make you the monster? I am not scared of none of you imposters. Taking the lead now while they watching. Think you should leave now while they're taking the wealth. Yeah, I gotta win. Watch me kick down. I know they won't let me in. I'm running the game now. Foot on the gas and slow down. No.
Welcome to another edition of the It's Cavalier podcast. It's your boy Mac, and tonight our Cleveland Cavaliers took on the Washington Wizards. I feel like we've played the Wizards like a million fucking times this year. Nevertheless, escaped with another W.
Pardon the language, the homie he do use a couple.
To 105 over the Wizards, and now the Cavaliers, if I am not mistaken, have won 11 straight against this franchise. Yo, they haven't lost in 3 years to Washington.
Whoa.
Let that sink in. The last time the Cavaliers...
That sound like the 08 Ashland football team against Finley. That sound like us. Joe Horn. Shout out to Joe Horn getting the head coaching job down there in Toledo. Yeah.
To the Washington Wizards. Kevin Love, Jetty Osman, Lamar Stevens, they were all very much big parts of the Cavaliers' rotation. It has been that long since this team has lost to Washington. That said, this was an ugly game. It certainly felt like a slugfest at times due to a multitude of factors. Right off the bat, the Cavs' inability from the jump to string together multiple three-point makes. They made shots at the right times, mind you, right? They had triples drop at the right...
Come on, don't act like, come on, we ain't won none of the team. Let's stop. Come on, how we doing the team? Oh.
For all on the game as a whole, it was pretty paltry. They shot just... They attempted 50 triples.
Welcome to Burger King. How can I help you?
Yeah, I want to get, let me get, and I want all these bags separate. I guess let me get 3 number 1s, but I want 2 of them with bacon.
Okay, so you want 1 number 1 and 2 number 2?
Oh, let me change it. I see y'all got the 2 and 5. Let me get the 2 for 5, but bacon on the, choose 2 single croissant witches or something like that. But I do want them croissants. Make 2 of them with bacon. And then let me get another 2 with sausage.
They got a lot of good looks. There were some.
Okay, I'm sorry. I heard the 2 croissants with bacon, and then what?
And then let me get another 2 with sausage.
They just did not.
Okay.
And then let me add 3 orders of potatoes.
What size?
I guess small.
They got a good shot out of it, and
Okay.
it just didn't fall right. You see, that's why you see stat lines like tonight from DG.
Yeah, I think that's it. And then let me add one of them vanilla flavor iced coffees.
What size?
I see M there. Let me get a large one. I need a large.
Okay.
1 of 8 from the field, including 0 of 7 for complete distance in his night.
Is there anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, and then what all did you want back separately?
You could just put the bacon croissants separate from the sausage one.
Okay, and does it matter which bags the hash browns go in?
No.
It's going to be 1856. Go ahead and pull around the second window, please.
Thank you.
39.7%
season, including 34.9% from three-point range, which is surely going to drop after this one. But I remain a pretty big fan of Merrill. I think that what he's been able to do on the defensive end this season is not something that you can just simply throw away. Entering tonight's performance,
I'm very impressed with what you're saying Merrill is having. Overall with this team, what I'm really impressed with, and I can't wait for Strus to get back on this team and to play, because Strus is going to bring that Karras-like aggression, but it just seemed like when he do it, it looked easier. And I think that's what we need, is one more dynamic scorer, ball handler, playmaker that play defense.
Very, very well. I mean, he has literally limited his opposition prior to tonight's game to 68 of 159. That's good for 42.8%, which happened to be 43rd in the NBA among players with at least 100 defensive field goals attempted against them, right? So I continue to be a big fan of Sam Merrill. I think the three-point shot will eventually fall. He obviously has gravitational pull, as you see people chasing him around screens like a madman, just flying around out there trying to navigate around him. I guarantee you, if you're down on Sam right now, I understand, but just pay attention from a ball movement standpoint, from just an off-ball movement for him in particular. Pay attention to the possessions that he has out there on the offensive end. See how often the defense is plastered to him. They don't let him get clean looks off at all. That is by far the biggest difference between this year and last year, where he shot 40.2% from range on the season as a whole. Kind of cooled off after the All-Star break, after such a tremendous start. But this season, teams, they know where he's at. They are aware of him. They make sure to keep a defender on him all night long, and it's a key reason why those percentages are down. But he has been able to render himself an invaluable part of this Cavaliers rotation so far this year, despite that, because of his work on the defensive end, and honestly in some areas that you wouldn't necessarily expect, like as a secondary playmaker and on the boards. Sam Merrill actually pulled down 6 rebounds tonight. But beyond them, the bench,
that's probably the biggest thing that I don't like about this team, is even with Jared Allen and Mobley, I don't think nobody's averaging 10 boards a game. So I was hoping like even Isaac Okoro, when he played the 3, would pick up the slack on the boards, but he plays so much defense on the perimeter that, I don't know, I'm upset with the amount of rebounds and the amount of fouls we get, but we've been winning without fouls. So I'm not going to complain about us figuring out how to win without getting foul calls this whole time. So, yeah, I don't know. This is kind of where I'm at with.
Mostly pretty good tonight. Karis LeVert, man, he had a big time performance. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. He wasn't necessarily the most efficient, just 3 of 9, but I won't hold that against him because nobody, it felt, was efficient tonight outside of another player we're going to talk about here in just a moment. But he would go 3 of 9 from the field, including 0 of 3 from 3-point distance. But the biggest factor for Karis LeVert was the free throw line. Karis LeVert, if I am not mistaken, drew 7 fouls tonight. He got to attempt 12 free throws. And speaking of free throws, guys, I just want to point something out because this is not a team that shoots a ton of free throws on the season. I mean, I'm not lying when I said that. I think I just had this discussion with the host of the Fear the Fro podcast, Bob Schmidt. But the Cavaliers as a team, they attempt just 20.6 free throws per game on this season. That actually ranks 25th in the NBA, and they're not actually all that efficient as compared to some of these other teams that do get a massive amount of attempts. But the thing to me that really stuck out was the fact that they attempted 40 free throws tonight.
That's a lot.
Funnier than that is the fact that this team has now had 3 of their 7th highest free throw attempt totals against Washington. 3 of them. They took 40 tonight. They took 34, which was their previous season high against Washington back on October 26th. And then they took 25 back on December.
We want this team shooting more threes. I mean, I know we didn't have some success earlier, but I think we got a really good balance right now of dunks and threes.
What it is about Washington, but they have an affinity for the Cavaliers just seem to be able to draw a ton of contact or at least get a friendly whistle against this team. So keep it rolling. I hope it's something that can springboard them into matchups heading into the future, but we all know it's an imperfect science in terms of getting calls. It's never going to feel like it always goes your way. We always complain about the free throws and the lack thereof. But tonight, it was good to see them attempting 40. And some of that was inflated towards the end of the game. But, I mean, prior to I got my light over here flickering on and off. Might have to adjust that. But prior to the performance down the stretch of Washington's kind of fouling, the Cavaliers were able to generate a ton of contact. And that is something, my friends, that is... It was very welcoming because I have not seen a ton of games this season in which they were able to do that. So very, very nice to see them get a ton of calls. And Karis, like I said, big proponent of that is he attempted 12 freebies. Now, the problem with the free throw attempts, as it looks like...
I just realized I forgot to get jelly for my sandwiches.
But I got a rave going on here. I'm going to take that light out midstream. Jesus. But the team as a whole, while they were able to generate a ton of free throw attempts, they were not able to drill a ton of them. 28 of 40. They left a lot of points at the line tonight, which could have made a difference. Thankfully, it did. 12 points off the board. Hate the fact that they weren't able to knock down more of their free throws, and they actually entered tonight's game knocking down, if I am not mistaken, just a hair under 78% of their free throws. 78% on the season, which ranks 16th league wide, so about middle of the pack. So they got to be able to do that. It will cost them against better teams. Washington, they're terrible, right? And they have some injury issues of their own, but they are 3-21 now, or 3-20, I think, right? 3-20 for a reason on this season. And
that's crazy.
Part of the reason for that is just the insane talent gap between their squad and the rest of the teams in the East. It's tough, but I'll tell you what. One of the guys who definitely impressed me tonight, and it continues to impress me on this season as a whole, is Isaac Okoro. Oh my gosh. I feel vindicated in many ways. Isaac is not necessarily shooting it with a ton of volume, as he's just attempting, I think, 2.6 threes per contest. But the difference between this season and past seasons is the sheer confidence that he is showing. It's visual. Yeah, I know. Richard Hacker says, disco light, BG's music should be the background music. Yeah, man, it's bothering me. I'm trying so damn hard not to get up midstream and just unscrew the light bulb as it's getting ready to die. It looks like down here, one of the floodlights in my basement where I record at. But man, Isaac Okoro has been just absolutely fuego from beyond the arc this season. Just 2.6 attempts per game, but he has now shot 48.
The only thing I really want to see is Isaac Okoro be like, if he can become like Lil Pippen, like a shorter version of Scottie Pippen. I mean, like, continue to play defense like he playing, but like know he an offensive threat. I've heard from a couple different podcasts saying that Isaac Okoro played with tremendous confidence, and I'd like to see more. I'd like to see more Isaac Okoro. I think you got it. I think you got what it takes, man, to really unlock this team. Like, if you can guard the three, man, we'll rock with you. Especially if you're gonna be playing like this with confidence. If you're gonna be baseline into the hole, maybe I like to see Isaac Okoro catch a couple oops or something, man. Like, I'm really, really excited to see what this team gonna do. Super hype, man. I gotta go in here working with two of my favorite coworkers, two old ladies, man. I got us some breakfast, man. So I want to make sure they get it while it's hot. Like, share, and subscribe. Area code down below. Share this. I'm trying to get this Cleveland Cavaliers podcast to be going. Trying to have that live chat going crazy. It's already been going crazy, man. There's already been a lot of y'all in there, a lot of comments. Keep it respectful in there. Continue to check out my dude's podcast. This is where I listen to this podcast pretty often. But that's it, man. We out.